Good afternoon and welcome to a Wednesday, a one-off Wednesday version of Hot Jobs with us here at Hire Military. Hey, Amber, good afternoon. How are you?
Hello, Lucy. I'm good. I'm enjoying this wacky Wednesday is what I'm going to call it of our hot jobs.
It definitely is. We were both saying it feels like a Tuesday because we normally come to you live on Tuesday, but here we are Wednesday today. Life got in the way. We've had other commitments this week, but we still wanted to spend some time with you this afternoon to bring our newest SkillBridge internships and permanent jobs that we have taken this week that are open to the veteran community. If we haven't met before, hey, I'm Lucy. I am one of the recruiters here at Hire Military, and we love to spend this time with you to share our newest opportunities, but also to give you the chance to ask us any questions. So let's pause there. If you have a burning question for us today or a less than burning question, please do put it in the comment section just below. We would like to know if you need any support, information, guidance, encouragement, you name it, around the job search, around the resume, interview skills, salary negotiation. There is so much that is involved with finding a role, being offered a permanent contract and actually starting. And it is a real formula. And if you don't know the individual elements that go into that formula, often it can be incredibly overwhelming. And we would just like to unlock that door for you and give you as much insight as we possibly can. We are here to bring opportunities to all of our military community today. So if you are a transitioning service member, a military spouse, or one of our veterans across the US, we are here for you. As we are talking, please do not forget to check the links in the description. You will find loads of helpful resources and upcoming events. And let me share one great upcoming event that is happening tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, I believe. Michael Quinn, our founder and CGO, Chief Growth Officer, is delivering his monthly USO Transition Seminar webinar, which is all around mastering LinkedIn and utilizing the platform and really getting the most out of it. So obviously, if you are here watching us today, you have LinkedIn, but do you know how to optimize it? Do you know how to utilize it for the best possible exposure of your profile, to connect, to find opportunities? If the answer is no, please do go to the USO Transitions website and register for the webinar tomorrow. Both Amber and I have been many, many times, and it really is a good use of a couple of hours because I promise you, you will learn an awful lot. Before we get started today, please do drop those comments in the chat box. We do want to hear from you. But I have a couple of organizations that I would love to take a moment to highlight and tell you a little bit about. So, are you in Texas? Is anybody here in Texas? Are you looking for a position that will create the ability for you to basically maximize your income, earn as much as you possibly can, and it is a hugely optimal entrepreneurial role, even though you are working for a company? So Heritage Construction and Roofing, they are looking for account managers to drive sales growth and expand their customer base across the Central Texas region. So your role would be to promote and sell their roofing products and services directly to homeowners in designated territories. They are looking for candidates from our population, our demographic. They are looking for military candidates because they love the aptitude. They love the attitude. They love every single transferable skill that you can bring to their table. And the veterans there do incredibly well. So if that sounds like an opportunity you would like to hear about, you will learn about business development, you will learn about marketing, you will learn about commerce, you will learn about budget management. Do connect with us during this conversation or after through a DM, and we will be able to share the link to that role and tell you a little bit more. We have Joseph with us today in North Carolina. Hey, neighbor, I'm here in Raleigh too. Forrest, Jay, Cameron, Mary, so great to have you with us. In addition, have you heard of a company called Veteran Service Brands? If you haven't, listen, I really want to tell you about them. So their CEO, Jack Child, and they have their COO, Jason Sperry, are both veterans. In fact, every single owner within the franchise group of companies, all 84 of them, are veterans, hence why it's Veteran Service Brands. They have nearly 1,000 years worth of military experience between them. And the organization was founded to include G-Force parking lot striping, Field Ops athletic field markings, Mach 1 epoxy flooring, and Paint Core, which is a commercial and residential paint business. Bottom line is they will set you up to run, own, operate your own business, but within a family sort of hug, with all of the support, the training, the equipment that you possibly could ever need. And this is ongoing and continuous. They have excessive experience, such success, and they really are, all of them, a delight to be around and a joy to behold. I love every single one of those owners that I have worked with, and I've worked with many, as has Amber. And if you are interested in taking that leap post active duty, or even if you've been out for a couple of years, I can't tell you how much I advocate and support, champion this company. They really are an awesome one to be a part of. Finally, we work with a really cool company called Acuity International. They are a GovCon, and they enable mission continuity and stability for government and enterprise organizations, tackling some of the hardest projects, the toughest projects across the globe. They have asked us to amplify and to socialize quite a few of their opportunities that they have right now downrange. I'm going to underline that. That's the operative word. If you are looking for your next role for a year or two, a contract position in somewhere that most people wouldn't want to take their family, I'm thinking Iraq here, Somalia, and we currently have roles in the Marshall Islands as well. Take a look, because they are mostly physical security and healthcare. So if you fall into one of those two industries, those spheres, you're looking to get out of here, to go away for a year or two, you get off of the face of the United States earth and go somewhere else, they definitely could be opportunities for you. As with anything that we discussed today, if you have any questions, please throw them in the chat, like Amber said. If not, you can DM us here on LinkedIn. Do connect with us or follow us on LinkedIn. Alternatively, you can go to our website, hiremilitary.us, and you can take a look at our careers page, and you will find everything that we discussed today. So many people have joined. It's really great to see you. And Amber, we were going to have a chat today, weren't we? So we didn't have time to really prep and prepare. But something that I wanted to bring to the table was, and this is not curated and this is not practiced or polished at all. So Amber, tell me what you think. I'm sorry, my phone is ringing. I will put that down right now. I find at the moment some of the conversations that I'm having with transitioning service members and veterans, but mostly transitioning service members, slightly tricky and a little challenging. And I'm going to caveat all of this with, we're recruiters. We primarily work for the corporate entity. So we work for the company. Company A comes to us and says, hey, I've got this job. I really would like to fill it with a veteran or military spouse. And then we go, great, let us work on that for you. And that is what recruiters do. Recruiters don't necessarily work the other way around. They can't support in the sense of helping people find jobs. They can only really help when you know what you're looking for, when you're battle ready, and we've got that stick that you are looking for. And what I've encountered this week on a couple of occasions is constructive feedback that I have endeavored to share with kindness in my heart. And I really, really mean that, because ultimately we want everybody to be successful. And it hasn't necessarily been received all that well. And it's really hard. And I think it really bothers both of us, doesn't it? It really affects us, because ultimately what we're trying to do is help.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's not necessarily taken with the grace that there is the intention behind. And I know it's hard, because nobody likes to hear your resume is like a B- grade. Let's get it up to A. But that's the whole thing. We're not just saying it's a B-, sort it out. We're like, okay, this is what we can do together to maximize your success and make you an incredibly competitive candidate. And I do wonder whether it's the weather or whether we're getting near the holidays and people are a little bit antsy and they've got other stuff going on. But what are your thoughts? Are you seeing that too right now? Because it's happened a couple of times this week and it hasn't happened to me in a really long time.
I have, Lucy, and I probably have seen it more than you, just because I think you've been in the space much, much longer in terms of like your experience in the recruiting world. And I'm, fairly new in it with like a year under my belt or so. And so I do see it from time to time. And I try to just pinpoint it back to they just don't know what they don't know. And they come looking for answers. And I'll have people ask me, hey, will you take a look at my LinkedIn profile? Give me some suggestions. Will you take a look at my resume and give me some suggestions? And I think early on in this position, I did that more often than I do now, because I had probably more bandwidth and I was really trying to put an extra, hand out there and help people. And now I'm just kind of, my role as a recruiter does not fall into the realm of career counselor. So if I am asked to do something, it just depends on the person. It depends on, kind of our interaction we've had. But I have found that when someone asks me to review something, and if I give it kind of a constructive criticism, it's not well received always. And that's okay, because at the end of the day, you know what I will tell you, ask the questions, ask for the advice, ask for the suggestions. You don't have to give a negative response. You just take from it what you find valuable. You say, thank you. I appreciate your time and attention, because that person didn't have to do that for you. And they did. So like, Lucy did this thing for this person and spent time that she could have been doing something else, putting it into this person. That's putting her time, her value into the person. So if you don't agree with it, that's okay. You don't have to. It's just like social media. Just keep scrolling, you guys. Like, you don't have to comment on everything. So take what's of value to you, put that in your toolbox, go to the next, person or place that you're looking for advice, and then just keep doing that, because at the end of the day, I mean, you're in control of your future. So whatever you grab hold to that speaks to you, like, go with that. Like, I will always support that at the end of the day, but do it with kindness in your heart, always.
And I think that's the thing. Take what serves you, leave the rest. That is ultimately always my strapline. If I'm educating or giving information about resumes, what I say may be different to another recruiter. It might be different to you, Amber. It might be different to somebody in another organization. What I say is what I believe to be true, but it doesn't mean it's the ultimate truth. Everything is an opinion. There's subjectivity around everything. But I just found it really interesting, but it also could be indicative of the marketplace right now. Mm-hmm. If you're watching us, you know that it's rather a tricky one. There are lots of layoffs. It's hard to even get an interview right now. And so there could just be a mild level of, a significantly more than mild level of frustration and malaise and just general dissatisfaction and irritation. So, you know what? I'd rather somebody bear the brunt to me than to a potential employer. I am just a recruiter at the end of the day, and I'm here to help. But I just thought it was interesting, and I'm glad that we've had this conversation and knowing that it's not just me right now. So know that if we do share any information, it is with your best interest at heart. We don't want you to let yourself down, and we don't want you to put yourself in a situation where you're going to be disappointed. We want to help as much as we can at the end of the day.
Absolutely. I love it, Lucy.
I've got a lot of jobs today to share. So should we get on? Should we get moving?
Absolutely.
So as we start, there's a couple of, let's say, there's some housekeeping rules let us share with you. First and foremost, we have an awful lot of positions on our careers page right now. Amber and I have been frantically getting those up over the last week. We've got more now than we've had in a really long time, which is exceptional and goes against what I just said about the marketplace. We have jobs. We are just sharing a highlight reel today, though. So as people are asking, any security clearance positions, yes, we have. Depends what type of role, but we've got roles that require security clearance. Take a look at hiremilitary.us. You will see two screens when you get to our careers page, one for the Skillbridge internship or CSP internship even, and one for the permanent jobs. I'm coming to you primarily with permanent jobs today. If you would like to learn more as I am speaking, please put the actual title of the job in the comments, because if you put interested or yes, me, We come back after the event and we don't know which one you're talking about. So just give us that, or be a motivated job seeker and take a look on our website as we are discussing if you can. Sometimes it's tricky when you're on your phone. But the first position I have today is working with one of the big 4 global consulting firms. You'll have heard of them: PwC, EY, KPMG, or Deloitte. We often, in fact, always have roles with them. And actually today, the one I have is quite different to the ones that we ordinarily talk about. This one is a change manager. It requires a secret clearance. This one is in Crystal City, Virginia. It's a hybrid role. So that means that it's a couple of days on site, a couple of days at home. This is not remote. It is not 5 days a week at home. They do require an on-site presence. They are looking ideally for a senior military leader that has been heavily involved in change management previously. There's no specific certifications or qualification criteria around this position, but you do need to be able to demonstrate change management in your career, either corporate or military. If you're unsure what that is, it's quite likely that you haven't done it. If you know exactly what I'm talking about, then definitely do connect and get in touch. I really, really want to be able to support this company with one of our great leaders from our population. So if this sounds like it's of interest to you, please do connect with me. I am submitting resumes as we speak, and I would love to have a conversation. Next role on my list is a senior complex claims adjuster. This is working with a global insurance and underwriting company that you will absolutely have heard of. You can be based in Atlanta, Houston, Jersey City, Pennsylvania, and that is Pennsylvania. Which location is that? I think that's Philadelphia, or Chicago. And ultimately, this is a 6-figure salary position. It's a claims adjuster position, but they are looking for somebody with military legal experience. That is ultimately what they would like to see on the resume. So if you have been in the legal career field in any of the branches, and you've got at least about 5 years experience, so I'm thinking paralegal here, do get in touch with me. Their benefits are insane. I have never worked with a company that has just so many benefits and really champions and advocates the work-life balance element when it comes to work and life. So please do get in touch. Next role, business continuity specialist. This is downtown DC. I made a video about this a couple of days ago that I posted on LinkedIn. This is on-site 5 days a week. Absolutely no negotiation around that. And when I say downtown DC, that's what was given to me. This is central. This is working in Congress. And again, they are looking for somebody with a business continuity or emergency management background. But ultimately, the one deal breaker for this is that you will have created and executed, delivered a continuity of operation plan. That is the absolute deal breaker. So if COOP is on your resume or it's in your skill set and experience, and you've done it from inception to execution and delivery, we need to have a chat. It's a great position, and the role is up on our website, or you can send me a message. Finally, in terms of permanent roles, do you live anywhere in and around Detroit? Or are you planning to relocate there at some point? We have been working with a company for a couple of years now, and they came to us yesterday. They are, funnily enough, in the automotive industry. I mean, kind of goes without saying. But they have some phenomenal senior leadership roles that they have asked us to recruit for. So I have an operations manager. I have a plant manager. I have a senior health and safety manager. I have an HR manager. I have a quality assurance manager, and many, many more. Basically, if you are in and around the Detroit area and you are looking for a job right now with a military inclusive company that really wants to benefit from your experience, I probably can find you a position. And the salaries on this one are excellent. All of the roles that I have just mentioned have a 6-figure salary. So we've got multiple manager roles here in Detroit. Do connect with me, drop a comment below, and I can share whatever you are looking for based on your experience. Finally, I do have a couple of SkillBridge internships that I would like to share with you today. The first can be SkillBridge or direct hire, but ideally they are looking for a SkillBridge intern. Veteran service brands who we championed and we mentioned earlier on in this live have got a business developer role. Ultimately, this is warm inbound sales. One of the brands there has got so much business, they don't quite know what to do with it. And they have dropped the ball a little because they just haven't had the capacity to get back to everybody and anybody that has been connecting with them. So they are looking as of early next year to bring on board a business developer. We did used to have this as project manager, but the wrong type of person was connecting with me. It really is a sales role, but not going out cold calling sales, knocking on doors. It's not that type of role. It's account management. It's relationship management. It's taking that inbound lead, nurturing it, developing it, identifying the need and the requirement, and building a solution. And then post agreement, post contract sign, really looking after that client to make sure that they are happy. Such an awesome team to work with. It is a hybrid position, so it's on-site in Baltimore and working from home as well. There's a little bit of travel in and around the area, but I really would like to highlight that for SkillBridge. Or if it sounds like you're interested in direct hire or permanent job, please do connect, but primarily they would love a SkillBridge intern. And finally, I do have a new role that isn't up on our website right now. So if you are looking for a SkillBridge internship in Kansas City, the same company, Veteran Service Brands, is looking for like an ops supervisor and operations manager kind of role. So the owner operator there is looking for somebody to be his second in command. So you will be operating, you will be delivering. This is G-Force parking lot striping. You will learn how to parking lot stripe. You will be doing that. But he's also looking for somebody who can be in his stead, who can manage client relationships, who can develop the business, essentially to allow him to do everything that he is doing right now, but also to maximize and build the business going into 2025. It's got great plans in order to double the margin, double the revenue, and he needs somebody from our community to join as a SkillBridge intern with full intent to hire next year at some point. That was an awful lot from me, Amber. So I'm literally throwing you the baton. Have at it.
Perfect. All right, guys, I'm going to share some more SkillBridge roles with you. Before I get started, I know I saw comments in there about Florida and some other places. Definitely check out our website. I don't know of any off the top of my head in Florida for South Florida for SkillBridge, but that doesn't mean that we don't get them. We have had them in the past. You don't know what's going to come in 2025. I am super hopeful. And so definitely go to our website, join our talent pool, because what that will do is that will allow you to be added to our mailing list. So as soon as we get new jobs, you're the first to know. You're the first to get emailed with all the new greatest and latest jobs. So that's just a way to stay informed. So before I go into SkillBridge, I kind of wanted to touch base on what SkillBridge is for those who might be watching, hearing the word internship. I know it can get confusing. So I wanted to clarify, these are SkillBridge or Career Skills Program internships. So these are only for transitioning service members who are still active duty or on active orders in their last 180 days of service, whether they're separating or retiring. So if you are unsure, if you are eligible, the first thing I would have you do is go to your command team, have a conversation with them. Hey, I'm interested in doing SkillBridge at the end of my term. Am I eligible? Would you allow me to do it? And find out how much time they're going to allow you to have, because you definitely want to go armed with that information before you start interviewing with companies for SkillBridge internships. Additionally, you can reach out to your transition team, your education office, if you're Air Force, and have a conversation with them about eligibility requirements. So, and then if you have any questions about this in particular, feel free to reach out. I'll be happy to answer any questions. I just retired last year and did SkillBridge. So I know the ins and outs, and so I'm happy to answer any questions. And as we go through these, keep in mind, we might not have a job out there that is in a location that you desire, but if you're having a conversation already with a company who's interested in supporting you in SkillBridge, but maybe they're not DoD approved, we can absolutely help provide that umbrella for them. So if the company is willing to host you as an intern, we can partner with them. Let us know. We do have an intake form on our website. Feel free to fill that out, and Lucy will reach out to you to get more information about that particular company. So the first SkillBridge opportunity I have, we did mention them earlier. Lucy mentioned them as one of our amazing partners. It is on behalf of Heritage Roofing and Construction. So they are looking for account managers in Central Texas, but they also want SkillBridge applicants as well. So if you are transitioning and you're like, hey, like that sounds amazing, but I'm not sure if that's a fit for me, or I'm not sure what that entails, and I'd really love to get my foot in the door and kind of see what it's all about. In Texas, I can say for myself, is a great place to live. That this is a great opportunity. So again, it's the same job. You know, you're going out there, you're being a project manager, a business development, you're doing sales. You're pivotal in helping drive their sales and expanding their customer base there in Central Texas. You're going to sell roofing products as well as their services, and help homeowners who are in certain designated territories when they are going through, whether it's a disaster, tornado, weather, rain, etc., that they're going through in terms of helping them replace roofs or other construction related projects. In this role, you're going to represent the homeowner. It's an amazing position where you're going to walk them through the process from start to finish. They're at no point in this are they alone. You are with them one step, every step of the way. You're going to do roof inspections. You're going to manage accounts. You're going to update accounts, maintain customer satisfaction. And so the minimal requirements for this is obviously you do have to be comfortable climbing on a ladder and walking on roofs. So because that's a lot of, it's like 15 minutes or so of walking on roofs, but it is something that you do have to be comfortable with. Additionally, you do have to have a valid driver's license and access to a half-ton or larger truck, or the ability to obtain one prior to starting. Strong negotiation and communication, interpersonal skills would be a plus, as well as being able to manage your time effectively and independently. Familiarity with roofing products and construction terminology is a plus, but it is not required. So you can always learn that as well. They're open to SkillBridge interns coming on board at any time. So if you're at the start of your 180-day window, or you're getting close to starting, or you're starting sometime early next year, reach out, let us know so that we can sit down and have a conversation with you. And I would love to pass your information along to that company. And again, if any of these roles sound of interest, put the role name in the comments. So account manager for this one, and then afterwards I'll share the link directly to that application. So the next role I have is for a technical support engineer. Actually, it's multiple technical support engineers. So this isn't just one position we're filling many. And this is with our partners at Datadog. As a technical solutions engineer, you are going to help educate potential clients and ensure that existing customers are happy and successful. You're going to share your technical and product expertise with customers. You're going to do demos and presentations, and you're basically going to join a team that will challenge you, but will immediately, commit to your upgrade within the technology field. So this is going to start as a tier 1 technical support engineer. The internship is remote. However, the full-time role does require an on-site presence after the SkillBridge internship. And they have 4 offices. One is in Denver, Colorado. One is in San Francisco, California, New York City, New York, and Boston, Massachusetts. So they do work a hybrid work structure on their on-site location. So it's 3 to 5 days, depending in office, depending on what they have going on. And they do require at least 1 to 2 weekend shifts a month during the full-time employment. They do work with clients that, come to them during the weekends as well. So you do have to be okay with that kind of setup. So as the SkillBridge internship, the requirements that they're looking for their candidates for this program is, the program is 120 days. So if you have 120 days of SkillBridge, this is perfect. They will take someone with 90 days, but you do have to be extremely technically proficient already coming through the door. And I'll talk about those technical requirements. They're basically looking for people who are proficient in Python or other scripting languages such as Bash or Java, ability to debug code and interpret lines of code. Having a foundation in Linux and operating systems would be helpful as well. Additionally, if you have SQL experience, that is a definite plus. Additionally, they would love if someone has customer facing experience, whether you're dealing with customer sales, customer service, just somebody who's able to listen to the customer's problem and be able to facilitate an answer back that meets their requirements. So again, you'll work potentially a rotating schedule during your skill bridge that does require some weekend availability. However, it is no more than 40 hours per week per the DoD skill bridge rules. So it's a fantastic opportunity. Again, it starts remote for the skill bridge, and then the full-time role after is on site in one of those 4 locations. So if you are interested in hearing more about that role, put in the chat technical support engineer, and I'll share more information. The next role I have is with DLA business finance accounting roles. We have DLA finance and accounting and business roles in Virginia, Texas, Ohio, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. So we are working with the Defense Logistics Agency J8 Finance Department. These roles are fantastic. These essentially get you in the door with DLA as a skill bridge intern, which then will convert to a GS civilian role once the internship is complete. Please note that the requirements are all listed on the website. You do not have to submit a federal resume for these. I just need a 2-page resume. And so the exact locations for these are Fort Belvoir, Virginia, Richmond, Virginia, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, New Cumberland, PA, Columbus, Ohio, Battle Creek, Michigan, and San Antonio, Texas. The preference is on site, but for the right person, they could potentially do a remote skill bridge, but remember the full-time role will be on site. And again, we have business analyst, financial liaison, accountant, and accounting system specialist. So if any of those sound great, comment in the chat. I'll share the link or go check out our website. And that is all the ones I have, Lucy.
What a busy afternoon. We're at 2:32 Eastern time, so 2 minutes over. But thank you, Amber, for sharing all of those. There's lots of comments in the chat. And I know that we can't always see all of the comments our end as well. I know that there are a couple more that we haven't seen. We do need to run. There was lots of good questions here. So we will come back after this event and just respond to you. Justin, we will come back to you on the resume review. One thing I will say is, it's really hard for us to review a resume if we don't know what role you're applying to. Think about it like a recipe. We need to have the list of ingredients as well as the method in order to be able to put the two together. But we will share some information that we have that I think will be really useful for you. Amber, as always, thank you for joining me today. And we will be back next Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern time. And we really hope we see you then. Or we hope we see one of your applications in our inboxes in the next couple of days. Take care. Bye-bye.